Welcome to Mykonos, an island that offers anything that a visitor needs. Wonderful architecture, exceptional beaches, very vivid nightlife, and the human factor, which is really important over here. Those incredible festivals that take place almost every day in order to celebrate the memory of our ancestors. Mykonos, a wonderful island right in the heart of the Aegean Sea, lies in the middle of the Cycladic group of islands. Its position very close to the island of Delos was something that worked as a privilege for the island. Right 30 minutes away from here, you have the largest archaeological park of Europe, birthplace of two gods, goddess Artemis and Apollo.
How is it?
It's great. Excellent. Nice and cool.
And it feels really good between the toes.
You have more than 30 beaches offering you a wide variety of sandy ones, smaller coves, pebble beaches, even family and nudist beaches, such as the famous Paradise and Super Paradise. Trikini is when you're wearing your hat, your sunglasses and your sandals, and you will find it in Super Paradise Beach.
This is the life. What relaxation. An island of about 90 square kilometers, population about 10,000 people. And now we are getting into the town and we shall see the famous Paraportiani church, complex of 5 churches into one, and of course the little Venice, where the captains and the pirates had their houses built right in the water, as they wanted to feel at sea even when on land. All streets finally go down to the promenade. So whoever you ask where Yalos is, follow that instruction please, and then you find yourself on the waterfront, and easy for you then to find your way. All right, all you have to do at the end is to walk all the way around to get to that point and get your shuttle buses back to the cruise ship. All right, ready to see some more? Off we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only square of this settlement. And it is known as Mando Square or the Taxi Square. And now you can realize why all these people are queuing right here. There are only 32 taxis on this island. Okay, so quite tough to find a taxi, especially during those days. So this is the bust of the lady, the local hero who offered all her merchant ships to be turned into warships at the beginning of the 19th century in order to help the Greeks in the War of Independence against the Turks. So the locals, in order to honor her and keep her memory, named the one and only square as Mando Square after the lady's name. Okay, so this is the most important meeting point for us. Okay, now we are going to walk on the waterfront, on which you are going to see the local market with the fresh products coming from the fields of Anomera being sold right here. The town of Mykonos, maybe one of the most charming capitals in the Aegean Sea, has been described with the finest colors by some of the most famous architects in the world, one of which is the famous Le Corbusier from Switzerland. Rumors say that by the time he stepped foot over here, he torn his diplomas away due to this wonderful simplistic cycladic architecture. What I want you to keep in mind is that all these buildings, and actually the waterfront, hasn't changed at all during the last centuries. The only thing that has changed is that we added the balconies, because normally all these buildings would turn their backs to the sea for protection, for protection against the pirates. All right, so the main entrance would be situated on the other side of the building. Also, very worth of mentioning is this wonderful little chapel dedicated to St. Nicholas, the protector of the sailors. And as you see, it combines in a very balanced way elements of the neoclassical style of architecture, the triangular pediments and of course the pillars. In the 1950s, a local found that pelican almost dead in the water, so he took care of him. Soon he became the mascot of the island. He was even taken to New York in order to promote tourism on the island of Mykonos. So everybody, all famous celebrities of the international jet set that would get here, they wanted to get a picture with him. Petros, the pelican, the ambassador of Mykonos. Finally, when he died, those celebrities wanted to bring a descendant of that, so they would offer a pelican to the island. Mykonos' economy will be thriving as long as it has its own pelicans. We are standing in front of one of the emblems of this island, the famous Paraportiani Church. Nobody really knows when this was originally built. Nobody really knows the name of the architect of this building. Some say that actually the wind is the real architect of that, as it must have eroded the whole building. So today, this strange shape of the building is a result of the erosion of the material. Okay, 5 churches into one. 4 on the ground floor and 1 above all the others working as their dome. If you want to see how many churches we have, just start counting crosses. 2 on that side, 2 on the others, and 1 above all the others. We call it Paraportiani. Paraporti is an entrance of smaller size or lesser importance. Okay, what kind of door we are talking about? The entrance of a Venetian castle that was built here in the 13th century. So that's the meaning, that's what Paraportiani means. Holy Virgin of the small entrance of the castle. ,90% of the population of this island today are into tourism. But it wasn't always like that. From very early, the Mykonians realized how barren this island was, so they turned towards the seas. There were always very good oarsmen, of course, sailors and pirates. So at the beginning of the 18th century, they had already created a very, very successful merchant fleet. We have evidence that they even got to the port of Montevideo, that is in Uruguay, at the beginning of the 19th century, 1804. Okay. What would they be exporting and importing? Various different things. The most important, flour and grain. So they would get grain, especially from the coast of the Black Sea, let's say today Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine. Okay, they would use the windmills. They would take advantage of the annual year-round of the wind and turn that barley into flour, grind grain, all right? And then they would use that in order to make rusks and bread that could be easily preserved for many days on their vessels. And especially in cases of wars, they would supply the Western European markets with material like that. Right across, you have the famous little Venice again, those houses. Today they have been turned into lounge cafes and bars. Any visitor of this island that respects himself must have something in that area. Although this island is visited by more than 1 million of tourists annually, this island has kept its character, and you can realize it everywhere you look. Everywhere you look, you find and you realize that you are on Mykonos. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this tour. I hope that you will visit this island once again, and maybe you choose it as a final destination of your holidays. I mean, you have everything you want. Culture, architecture, vivid nightlife, the human factors, as I said, and those wonderful beaches. What else would you need for your holidays? Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you for buying this excursion. Thank you for visiting my country, especially during hard times that we are going through financially. From me, all the best for the rest of your holidays, and simply enjoy. Thank you very much.